are back! And that was a little overboard. So today we're reviewing the Huda Beauty Foundation. It's just been released on Friday. So my shade is the lightest shade of all. It's called Milkshake. She has 30 shades across the range. They're a little like enigmatic. This is the foundation. This is what it looks like. From like through the packaging, it looks rather neutral. However, if you see like the swatch on the lady's arm, it looks like really yellow. I was really worried about that. But it doesn't look so here. Let's see when I swatch it. Huda actually made a chart of like comparisons of her shades to other foundation shades, so I'm gonna link that down below in case you're curious. This was compared, for example, to the Fenty 100 and 110 foundations. This looks very pale, which for my hand does not look okay, but for my face it actually does. And it is quite neutral. It's not as yellow as I was thinking it was gonna be, which I love and I'm over the moon with. I also want to mention that this came with a little sample of the primer. I asked you on my Instagram stories if you wanted me to use the primer or not. It was about a 50-50 when I started filming, so I decided not to use the primer and to kind of judge the foundation alone. I'm still gonna try this primer under the foundation throughout the week, so keep posted for my Instagram stories. If you don't follow me there, please make sure you do. So that you know if the primer makes any difference, if it's good or whatever. And let's just get into it. I'm gonna do this side of my face with the brush. I'm gonna use the bareMinerals Luxe Performance Foundation Brush, which has been my fave. It's quite pasty in texture as I put my... It has a perfume, which is quite like, it's quite strong. It's not unpleasant, but it smells like straight up perfume, and I know that's gonna upset some people. Okay, so I'm gonna try not to put on too much. It also is... It is maybe a little bit too light for my face skin, but it will blend right into my neck skin, which is what I usually want, because then it's just easier. I also have like a residual tan on my face, believe it or not. It's there. It smells really good, but it smells like perfume in a good way. Like, I really like it, but it might upset sensitive skins or sensitive noses. So far with the brush, it has like a really good coverage, as you can see. It is quite creamy, so it's not like chalky and it's not patchy, which is great for a high coverage foundation. It did cover quite a lot for the first layer. It's not too pasty, like it kind of is drying down to a semi-matte, but it also isn't chalky. So right now, first impressions are really good. I'm liking this. I'd say it doesn't oxidize much so far, but we'll see where we go. So I'm just gonna go here and then directly on the most pigmented areas, like my pimple areas. It does build up great though. Even with the brush, it builds up great. It doesn't look like it has too much on. I know the foundation is made for like all skin types, so she wanted something that was coverage but also wouldn't be too drying on dry skin, which I think was a little bit of a problem with the Fenty foundation as well. Like, I don't have dry skin, I have combo, but it's very dehydrated, and Fenty foundation, it just wreaked havoc on my skin. It felt so uncomfortable, and this one does not so far. Leave it as is if you have dryish skin, or you can set it with a powder if you have more oily skin. I'm gonna finish up my look and then decide if I want a powder or not. Okay, let's go to the beauty blended side. I look like a ghost. I love foundations where they get me to a point where I look like a ghost, because then I can build on it without being weird. So as you can see here, I just pumped a little bit more, and the color is kind of the same, so it hasn't oxidized. The first layer of foundation with the beauty blender has not built up so well. It still has a lot of blemishes showing, but we're gonna keep on insisting in like the most trouble areas. With the like pointy part of the beauty blender, it kind of works because it is kind of a paste. It sort of works like a concealer. So while you do have to be more careful placing than with the brush, it does work. Ah, look, amazing. And there are very few foundations that do have actually this shade. In my experience, the foundations that I found that have this sort of pale AF shade are the bareMinerals one, the Bare Pro one. Also the Fenty foundation, but I didn't like that one. I've heard Kat Von D also has it, but I haven't tried that yet. Looking forward to it. Then Estee Lauder and The Ordinary have really light shades, but they're not as pale as this one is. I think the coverage is a little bit better with the brush. I could insist on this, but I'd have to wear much more products to get that solid full coverage with the Beauty Blender. So in my opinion, I do it with a brush. And usually I say I do it with a brush and go over with the Beauty Blender, but honestly, just with the brush, it looks bomb. It looks amazing. The perfume is something that lingers on, so if you don't like the perfume, I think that's a little bit troubling. I actually do love the perfume, so I'm loving it. I kind of tilted my camera so you can see really well the hot light hits. Even in my like talky dry areas, it looks so beautiful, and I love the finish because it's almost matte, but not matte. Under eyes is where I have the most problem. I have really like bad under eyes in terms of texture, so I think they're currently all sold out on Cult Beauty, but I'm gonna link it down below just in case. But they're also available right now on the Selfridges site, this in the UK. If in the US, they're available in the Sephora website. I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup. So I just did almost all of my makeup, and now I'm gonna head into face. So I had to decide whether to powder or not, and after much deliberation, I think I'm gonna powder my T-zone. So the rest of my face I'm gonna leave as is because it looks perfect. But I'm gonna powder my T-zone with my By Terry Hydra powder, which is super hydrating. I'm blurring and not at all trying. Okay. Overall, it is super comfortable, the foundation. So finish the rest of my makeup, and I still get a whiff now and then of the perfume, so that's something to keep in mind. We'll see how this works throughout the day, but I'm definitely impressed with the first application. It looks pretty bomb. So I'm glad I powdered, because in the T-zone you can see that there's a little glow there. I still don't classify this as like oily, so I kind of like what's happening, the sheen that's happening here. I think by the end of the day it will be, I'd need to either powder or blot, but I really like how it is. It's been really super comfortable to have it on, and it hasn't sunken into my pores or anything. It looks very glowy, and like my face is really healthy and dewy, and the coverage is still all there. So as you can see, my pores don't look overly accentuated, which I like. It hasn't begun to be flaky or cakey anywhere here. Here is the only part where you can see there's been a bit of accumulation, but I have like a dimple there, or whatever this is. And yeah, that's why that's usually pretty normal. Here you can see there is a bit of wear, and you can only see it, I think, from like really close. So that's good. And it's not overly oily on my T-zone. So yeah, I'm really liking it so far. I haven't gotten any more whiffs of the perfume, so the scent has certainly wore off. For now, it's kind of perfect, so we'll see in another 4 hours. The foundation still didn't sink into my pores, which is great. It still looks very lovely. There's a little bit extra of oil now right here, but it still looks really good. Like, it's separated a little bit in this area, which is expected. You can see here, which is my driest part, but all the rest really looks amazing, and I'm definitely impressed. It just lasted really well. The coverage is also there. And also, I forgot to mention, a lot of the foundations, even full coverage foundations sometimes, even after setting, when I apply my blush and bronzer and stuff, it kind of takes away from the coverage, and I don't feel like this one did as much, and I think it's because this has like that pasty consistency, which I really like. Quickly before I go, let me know if you've tried this foundation and what you think of it, or if you're thinking of trying it, because I really like it. And let me know if there's any other foundations that you want me to test in this kind of same of first impressions with check-ins format. If you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more, and click the little bell button so you know every single time I'm uploading, and bye!